It's June 14th. Welcome on into Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are sponsored each and every day by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer Cardinals win the first game 3-1, and now over the next 10 minutes or so of this show, we see how many Dixie Chicks references I can work in to our episode today, as that's where I'm headed later on this evening with my Goodbye Earl t-shirt on and ready to go.
And a second number would be, how many of those references would anybody get?
Oh, people would get them. Maybe not you. Maybe not you. But yeah, so it's, there's your trouble with that one. So, but hey, we're ready to run on our episode for today. Cardinals get the win 3-1. Matthew Libator works 5 innings. He gets the win. Paul Goldschmidt just does Paul Goldschmidt things and once again carries the team. But the interesting thing coming out of this first game of the doubleheader, who's going to pitch in game 2 after Miles Michaelis throws his 120 pitches?
Well, you're counting on winning big.
Yeah.
That's the hope. You got to win big because you needed your good guys to finish up the comeback game last night. You needed them again today to close out this win. And three games in a row might be doable if they're on 3 different days. But so this will be interesting. You need some crooked numbers early. And then stay out in front. That's what you got to look for today.
Yeah, and they will be facing in game 2 a guy by the name of Bryce Wilson. Bryce Wilson, who has started only 4 games for the Pirates this year, appeared in 7 on the season. And his numbers, they're not that great. He the last game he started back on May 22nd, so he hasn't started a game, Rammer, since May 22nd. And if you remember, that was the game where I believe the Albert Pujols hit the 2 home runs. And I want to say, is that the game that the Cardinals brought in a fresh a righty, made his major league debut on the mound by the name of Yadier Molina?
So that was the 18-run game?
I think it was. As I just look at his stat line here, he went 1 2/3 innings, gave up 7 earned runs in that one. So I have a feeling that was the game, unless the Cardinals just blew him out in multiple games that series, and I'm just not remembering those. May 22nd was the Sunday game. Yeah, that was the Yadi, the first time this year that Yadi's pitched. God, just saying that is really crazy.
Well, you got to have trusted guys in the bullpen.
Yeah. So, Rammer, you and I were talking about this before we jumped on. As you look at the way the lineup is kind of constructed and what they plan on doing and the way the schedule lines up, Tommy Edman was out in the first game. It's already been said that Harrison Bader was playing in both games. How do you construct that lineup for game 2?
Well, assuming everybody is equally dehydrated, I think you got to take care of your older guys first. If I were going to bet, although he did DH recently, I think the key to figuring out the lineup is what you're going to do with Arenado. Goldie will play first. Edman will play on the infield, and almost certainly shortstop. So if Arenado plays third, then Donovan plays second, and Gorman's out or DHs or whatever. But if Arenado, who played out in the field in the first game, DHs, then Donovan moves over, then Gorman plays both games today. Typical of what you do with young guys. Again, levels of dehydration notwithstanding. And then you figure out your DH and your outfielders. You made a point before we came on that Dylan didn't start the game, Dylan Carlson, so he probably starts in right field. So now it's third, second, DH left, and some sort of configuration there.
Yeah, we will see it if it comes out over the next 10 minutes that we're still on the air. We will discuss that. There was before we get into some of the other stuff of the game, a little bit of base running talk.
The best play I've ever seen.
So, but I want to go before that, because before that there was a balk on Brubaker that I think confused everybody. I mean,
Not
I think
Yachty. He called it.
yeah, Yachty called the balk.
The
I
umps
think
didn't know, and they just said, "Well, Yachty saw it, so I guess it's good."
right. Is that Rammer? Put on your coaching hat for a second. If you are, I'm trying to think what the name of the Pirates coach is right now, and I'm drawing a blank on it.
So
Right,
you made me get a brain fart too.
right.
But he came out and was livid.
Wouldn't you be? I mean, wouldn't you be if you?
Of course.
If I mean, yes, it's Yadier Molina, but if Yadier Molina talks you into calling a balk minutes after it happens,
Yeah, you can't do that. I would have been thrown out probably.
then I don't know how he wasn't.
Anyway.
Yeah, and that discussion too. I mean, after it's called, what part of that do you go back and you go, "Hey, what'd you see?" And with that long of a conversation, I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
just, there are coaches who in basketball who can work the officials. Yachty knows his stuff. The umpires know he knows his stuff. And I think probably when he told them what he saw, they go, "Oh yeah, he did do that. Yeah, that's a balk."
And if you're the manager there, is that something? I mean, because when a pitcher balks, whether it's your pitcher or not, are you more upset that the balk was? I mean, are you upset with the balk call, or are you upset that it took so long for them to be convinced about it? Is that what you're out there arguing? That's saying, hey, you know what? You guys called something. You can't go back on it. This isn't a play you can change your mind on.
No, I think you're getting too technical. I'm just mad because we got a bad ball club, and it gives me an excuse to vent. And my argument is, what Molina's calling the game now? You're going to let him call balls and strikes? And what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I think I would have let him have it a little bit, knowing my guy did it, and it helps your guys if they even care at this point. Oh, the skipper's got our back. That's kind of a grandstanding play, but I think I would have done it too.
Yeah, the Cardinals, the play you were talking about, though, by the way, the play in the was it the 6th inning? Bases loaded, 2 outs, a ground ball hit up the middle, and was it Sosa or Gorman that just ran? It was Gorman, just ran straight through the bag and ended up causing a rundown, allowing a run to score. And it's a play that I'm glad on the TV side of things for fans that the Cardinals have a guy like Danny Mack who was on top of it immediately. This wasn't like, oh, the play broke down and then he came back from the commercial. Gorman, yes.
I love Dan. We went to the same college. It's not brain surgery. I saw it as soon as it happened too. Relax. Danny's got enough awards.
He's also got his own website that this isn't on, and I'm still giving him the praise for it. I haven't heard the radio call yet. I will have.
Seriously, your point is right. When you've got knowledgeable people, we are so lucky on TV and radio having really good baseball people. But yeah, so
I'll have Ben Boyd send me Rooney's call and Polo's call, and we'll go over all of them and break them all down to see to make sure everybody called it and explained it out immediately.
And then run the KFNS 590 broadcast where I completely interrupt the flow of the show to say, "Oh my God, that's the best play I've ever seen."
I've been there. Yes, I know what yes, I know exactly those moments. I was on when Armando Galarraga had the perfect game ruined. I was on the air when Jim Joyce made that call and immediately started yelling, doing play-by-play of that.
So let's go back to the play.
Yes.
So bases loaded, 2 outs, ground ball to the shortstop, routine play to get him at second base. Right. Typically, as the runner, you're either going to peel off because you know you're out. It's the 3rd out of the inning. Or if you're going hard like a young guy, all of them are supposed to, but young guys they'll really bust it, get down there and slide. You're out, but you slide into the bag. Gorman was aware enough because he was off with the pitch. Maybe I can beat this. He ran through the bag, beating the force, although I want to see that play again. I'm not so sure he did beat it. But anyway, the ump immediately said safe.
He didn't immediately call it. That's why
in a second. It was like he had another step and he saw what Gorman was doing and called safe. It was a beat.
I thought it was. It seemed a little delayed to me. When I saw it, I don't know if you've seen the replay of it yet and the breakdown of it.
Well, I saw it live and then the
okay.
immediate replay.
Okay, I thought there was a little bit of a break to it, but that is, I mean, that's like if you tell a young baseball player like, hey, when you're out there, if the ball's hit to you, know where you're going with it. If it's hit to your right, to your left, know where you're going with it. And that takes it a step further, like as a base runner, hey, if this ball's hit right there, I'm doing this one thing. I am not sliding into second. I'm doing this one thing where, you could have a third baseman out there with bases loaded and go, hey, if the ball's hit to my left, I'm going to second. If it's hit to my right, I'm tagging the bag. If it's hit right at me, I'm coming home type of situation. That's next level that the Cardinals showed in that play.
Well, I'm going to give the credit to Gorman. I'd be shocked if well, no, I shouldn't say that. That might have been a play, but they didn't know where the ball was going to go. You can't predict. You can't tell the first base runner 100 different scenarios, but he was off with the pitch. And so you got to give him credit for that. So anyway, folks, what he did by not being forced out at second base, he allowed Molina to go home. Everyone knows if it's a force out, third out, the force out negates when the runner crosses the base.
Yeah.
So by going past it and having to be tagged out, Molina was able to score. And in fact, both Sosa and Gorman stayed in rundowns long enough. It almost garnered a second run. And it was just an in-the-moment, brilliant play by Nolan Gorman. He was eventually tagged out for the third out, but Molina was already getting a drink in the dugout by then. And it was just a great mental play by Nolan Gorman.
It really was. So the Cardinals win the game 3-1, and will play a game this afternoon or this evening, 6:45. It's Miles Mikolas versus Bryce Wilson in that one. Imagine that you'll get Edman in the lineup, you'll get Bader in the lineup, Yepes and Kisner and Carlson, I guess, and then fill in the gaps from that.
Again, assuming equal depths of dehydration, I'd be shocked if Goldie wasn't playing first base. And then we'll see how they want to mix and match left field, DH, second base, and third.
Yeah, so we will be with you tomorrow, not after the game today. We'll be
Nice job by Libertor today.
Yeah, it was.
Conversation continues on. Oh, we didn't mention Flaherty starts tomorrow night. We can talk about that tomorrow. But what that means is, assuming he doesn't pull a Strasburg and continues on in the season, you got 4 of your 5 starters now locked in, and it's a competition between Libertor and Palante and a couple of others for that 5th spot. So it'll be interesting to see in the next week how that plays out.
I also believe I don't if that when Flaherty is activated tomorrow, they will have to make a move on the 40-man roster. I believe moving him to the 60-day injured list means that they were able to bring somebody on the 40-man, and I think the 40-man is at 40 right now. So I believe a major corresponding roster move will have to have. I say major because it means you're actually putting a guy on, either extending a guy's injury or designating a guy for assignment.
Yeah.
And whether that's a no-name or not, that's still pretty major as far as his life is concerned, I guess.
Yeah. Is Matt's on the? He's not on the 60, is he?
No, he's just on the 15-day right now. But it's been about yeah.
And then the other thing to keep an eye on, Ozzie Albies, the terrific second baseman for the Braves, broke his foot last night. Do we see a trade partner situation with Paul DeJong, who is red hot at Memphis? Just a little teaser, something to think about.
God, your mind went to trade partner. My mind went to Tommy Edman's going to be the starting second baseman for the All-Star game now.
And both can be true.
Right. That's because I don't know. I mean, you look at what he's done and what he did last night and continues to do. I don't know how Tommy Edman's not on that All-Star team with Goldschmidt, with Arenado, Michaelis could make another strong statement tonight, and then you throw Wainwright, Yachty, and Albert on there as commissioner picks, and that's a whole lot of red out there in LA.
Be fun. Be really
it will
fun.
be. Hey, this has been another edition of Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. We are brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks of Missouri and Mungenast St. Louis Acura. Hey, at Mungenast St. Louis Acura, they are the nation's only 30-time Acura Precision Team winner. You can go to their website, shop from there at stlouisacura.com, or go to their location at 13720 Manchester Road and see all of the cars they have on lot. But I tell you this, whether you go to the lot or you go on their website, you are going to see the beautiful 2022 Acura MDXs that they have there available for you at Mungenast St. Louis Acura. He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. We will talk to you tomorrow. It's Jack Flaherty Day tomorrow, and we will bring you some pregame coverage right here on Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.